What's going on, guys? I'm back with another video. Today is fight night. Today, I think Rolly and Ryan Garcia's fight. I think at 8:30. I don't know what time, but I know the whole event starts at 5:30, and then the main event I think is 8:30. I'm not sure, but we got a really good card. I'm not gonna lie to you. We have Ryan Garcia's. We got Devin Haney, and I know those two. Obviously, they haven't fought since both of them fought each other. They haven't fought since that day, which was like I think last year in April or May when they fought when Ryan beat him. Well, technically he they took off the point, but whatever. But today we're gonna be reacting to Ryan and Rolly and how the fight might not really be close, as most people say. But yeah, let's check it out. All right.
It won't be close. Ryan Garcia is making his return to the ring after being suspended for taking Ostarine in the aftermath of his mega fight against Devin Haney, with Rolly Romero stepping up to the plate to try and upset the young star in Times Square. So this is why Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero will not be close.
And before we get into that, we're Punch Talk and are bringing you daily combat sports videos, so if you enjoy the content, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to help support the channel. So on the big Times Square card, we have...
Bro, this is a tough card, bro. You got Ryan, Devin, and bro, Lopez too. Theo Lopez. Bro, and it's crazy that they're legit fighting in the middle of Times Square, which is crazy, bro. You'll think like a big event like this would just go for an arena, because I feel like they would have made more money, especially since they're definitely gonna sell at the arena. But doing it in the middle of Times Square, in front of like the streets and cars walking by, like that's like outdoor, like it's never actually been done. That's
a header with the main event being Ryan Garcia taking on Rolly Rolando Romero. And these two have some history. In the past, there were videos of them sparring, getting the work in the gym, with Rolly sparring a very green Ryan Garcia at that time.
Bro, this is 8 years ago. Mind you, Ryan Garcia is 26 years old right now. So if this was 8 years ago, he would have been like 18, 17. And back then, Ryan Garcia was skinny, bro. But in this whole, like, I saw the video of this. And this whole time, obviously, Rolly was beating the shit out of Ryan. But he was like, he was basically brawling, bro. He was brawling with Brian, bro. It wasn't really boxing. Which is interesting because I saw a comment said that if Rolly had an actual chance of beating Ryan, he should go into that ring without the intent to box, but to brawl. Which is interesting because like I feel like it's kind of true because I'm gonna be honest, Rolly he's a good fighter. He's 16-2. Majority of his wins were knockouts, and he does have that punching power, especially Tank Davis. Tank Davis even said in an interview that Rolly's like the hardest puncher he's ever fought against. So if he can catch Ryan, bro, off guard, he can definitely knock out Ryan. But I don't think he's gonna outclass Ryan in the terms of boxing because, I'll be honest, Ryan, in terms of boxing and technique, Ryan is better than Rolly, and he also has that speed. And let's not forget that vicious left hook Ryan has, bro. It's like if Rolly gets caught, bro, it's over.
Seemed like he got the better of, just roughing him up, making it a dogfight, but that is just sparring. But even with that, as the years have gone on, as they've progressed as pros, it seems like one has definitely stood out more than the other, to say the least, and that is probably that Ryan Garcia is gonna get this one done. When this fight initially got announced, we made a video on why this fight will not end well and that there is gonna be a knockout more than the other, to say the least, and that is probably that Ryan Garcia is gonna get this one done. When this fight initially got announced, we made a video on why this fight will not end well and that there is going to be a knockout, but we didn't make a prediction, so
there's definitely going to be a knockout for sure.
The closer it gets, the more I feel like Ryan Garcia is going to take this pretty handily and probably in devastating fashion.
And one of the biggest factors on paper right off the bat is when you look at it, Ryan Garcia has a lot of the physical attributes over Rolly Romero. We know he's the much quicker, faster twitch guy. He's more explosive than Rolly Romero and has some better tools than him that he's able to utilize a lot throughout his fights.
Bro,
most evidently that left hook, which is his signature, his staple. Well, he's been able to catch many elite fighters with, such as Devin Haney, catching him to drop Haney multiple times throughout their...
Bro, that fight with Devin Haney, bro, was a complete I can't get my words right, but bro, it was devastating, bro, because bro, it was so unfair, bro. And then the whole Austrian thing happened, bro. I'm not too sure about that, but if he did take Austrian, obviously it's boxing. The points, the whole match has to be like no contest, bro, because you know, you can't cheat like that. But I'm not 100% sure of the whole story of the whole Austrian situation. Ryan says that Devin's team planted that thing in, but who knows, bro? And I don't even know how much Austrian can actually like improve a boxer's performance. But hey, that's why they're getting that rematch.
We've seen drop Haney multiple times throughout their fight and stunning him. And the thing is, we've seen him have a lot of success against top competition. We've seen him fight through adversity and come back to finish a gold medalist, Luke Campbell. We've seen him beat solid competition like Javier Fortuna, Oscar Duarte, and of course, most famously, him putting on a dominating performance against Devin Haney, regardless of it being overturned and Ryan popping for Austrian. But with Rolly Romero, it just seems whenever he fights elite competition, he just comes up short. Most specifically against Gervonta Davis and
it's Tank, bro. No one has beaten Tank at all, bro. It's Tank Davis, bro. Not even Ryan could beat him, bro.
Isaac Cruz. When he was really fighting the best that there is to offer, he's just not exactly on that level. Don't get it wrong, he's still a powerful guy, an unorthodox fighter who is aggressive and will put it all out there, regardless if that even means he'll get caught in the process. And he's a very game opponent, but it's just hard to see what Rolly would be able to bring to the table that Garcia hasn't already seen. And
but like I said before, like if Rolly wants to win, bro, he needs to, you know, he needs to go in that boxing ring without the tent to actually just box perfectly. Like he needs to fight dirty. It has to be a brawl.
Hasn't already pretty much beaten.
Yeah, Rolly is definitely one of the more unorthodox guys. He didn't have the same kind of pedigree that the likes of Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney did. He wasn't in that same schooling. He started boxing only at 17 years old. Meanwhile, Ryan Garcia at that time was already an amateur champion. And even though he's 3 years older than Ryan, Ryan has more pro fights, has had more amateur fights, is more experienced in general than Rolly is. And even though Rolly on paper is a former world champion, the way he got that belt was pretty disgraceful. If you remember that Ismael Barroso fight, how bad of a stoppage that was when Rolly was pretty much getting beat by Barroso, who was way past his prime and over 40 years old at the time that he fought Rolly. That was one of the most controversial stoppages in boxing in the last couple of years. Sure, Ryan has never held a world title like Rolly has, but that doesn't mean that he's not on that same level. If anything, this is supposed to be a tune-up, a warm-up fight for Ryan to just get back in the ring.
And that's the thing, bro. This, like, I feel like he is taking the fight. He says he's taking the fight seriously, but I feel like Ryan isn't really taking it that seriously, if you know what I mean. Like, he's treating this fight kind of like a warm-up. Because I'm gonna be honest, the main thing for him is Devin Haney. The same goes for Devin too. His main thing is Ryan. So it's like this like a warm up event for them, but let's see how it goes.
After the suspension, after the situation with Devin Haney, and try to build towards that rematch, try to secure a Devin Haney fight. When you look at Ryan Garcia's left hook and you look at Rolly's defense, it just seems like inevitably that Ryan might be able to catch Rolly. If not, he will catch Rolly. I feel like he will. I feel like it's going to be very hard for Rolly to get this one done, even though Gervonta Davis, who is a common opponent, said that Rolly probably hits harder than Ryan, which is pretty crazy, but Ryan has that speed factor.
Famous saying goes, it's not how hard you can hit, it's how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward, bro. Rocky, man, what a inspirational movie. It don't matter how hard you hit, bro. Like if you can't box, bro, you're getting knocked out.
I ain't gonna lie, Rolly hit hard. People be sleeping on Rolly because he been obviously, I don't know how to say it, obviously. But yeah, if he don't got no chin now, so Rolly be getting caught. But Rolly, he can hit, bro. Like he can hit. He's the only person I felt like when he swung, it felt like bricks was in his mud.
And especially getting bigger in weight, they're going to be fighting at 147 pounds. That only favors Ryan Garcia, who over the last couple of years has been missing weight in fights, has been going to catch weights, and it seems like he's just been getting bigger and bigger. He's going to be fighting at a natural weight for him, at least much more natural than he was previously against the likes of Gervonta Davis when he came in at 136 pounds, very drained.
Bro, this man was skinny, bro. He was drained. Look at his arms, bro. Like, that's crazy that he even took. I'm surprised. Like, he wanted the fight to happen because of the money and stuff, but like, still, bro. Like, why did he take this fight, bro? Like, 135 is too much.
So I just don't know how Rolly gets this done.
Yeah, and when you've typically seen Ryan Garcia struggle against opponents and even lose, it's against Gervonta Davis or when he got dropped against Luke Campbell. It's
Mm.
typically against the more fundamental boxers who are sticking to the fundamentals, not really aggressing Ryan too heavily, and settling into the fight, kind of waiting for Garcia to unload a lot of his most devastating punches. And that's mainly what we saw in the Tank Davis fight. He was just waiting for the moment while Garcia was very aggressive on the front foot, kept throwing the left hook, not being able to find success. And it led Garcia to being caught, and that's how he got dropped twice and eventually stopped in that fight. The Luke Campbell fight, we saw especially back then, Ryan's defensive fundamentals weren't that sound, and he
Damn.
was dropped for the first time in his career by a massive shot. But when you look at Rolly Romero compared to those fighters, like we've been saying, he's nowhere near on the level fundamentally as those guys.
I mean, yeah, bro. Like Rolly's complete opposite. Like he's the aggressive type. Like he's not gonna wait for Ryan and then wait for the perfect. No, he's gonna go in, bro, and he's gonna leave himself open. And Ryan, if Ryan catches that, bro, it's over, bro. Wait, it's the left foot. It's over.
He's not as much of a conventional boxer who is going to be patient, is going to find setups, find different traps to put Ryan Garcia in, and will eventually find a counter shot that would put heavy damage on Garcia. He does have the power, but the issue is he just doesn't have as much of the fundamentals and the technique. So without Rolly really being able to box fundamentally and maybe more just be a brawler in this fight or just look for a big shot, it seems more likely that Garcia will be able to catch him eventually. And again, it's just hard to see him not winning this fight and being able to get a big win, coming back, returning after a 1 year suspension out of the sport. And this is going to be huge for him to recapture that momentum again and very likely go into that Devin Haney rematch.
Yeah, even coming back after that Tank loss, and if you were disregarding that fight against Devin Haney, he still put on a great performance, at least a great finish on Oscar Duarte. The whole performance as a whole was kind of weird with Ryan Garcia's shoulder roll, but regardless, that was a great finish against a tough, durable guy in Oscar Duarte, and that win has been aging pretty well over the last couple of years. When you look at Rolly's,
Bro, that shoulder roll he did, bro, was so like he was like that. Like look that, bro. Like his shoulder roll, bro, is awkward, bro. But I don't know, bro. It was just like it was like more stiff than that.
resume, his best win is Ismael Barroso. As I said, that was a bad stoppage. He lost recently last year against Isaac
He got
Cruz around the same
destroyed by
time
Isaac
that
Cruz.
Ryan Garcia put on one of his career best performances, if not his career best, against Devin Haney, even though that was overturned. But some experts have said that Ryan Garcia wouldn't have been enhanced. The Austrian in his system wouldn't have actually made him way better in that Devin Haney.
And that's what I'm saying, bro. Like that Austrian, like Devin Haney. Cause I'm gonna be honest, after getting humiliated, after getting destroyed like that by your rival, bro, it's embarrassing, bro, and your confidence just plummets, bro. And I feel like they're making this whole Austrian thing seem like he was taking like legit, like straight up big ass steroids. Like it wasn't that deep, bro. But obviously, I guess there are rules to boxing, and he had to get like they make it
Fight and suddenly made him way stronger, way faster, way better, whatever it was.
They're making it
so
seem like
look at their
they're making
resume,
it seem like that's the reason he won.
is when you look at their pedigree, when you look at their careers as a whole, even the physical attributes, the experience, the speed, the knockouts, it all just favors Ryan Garcia to get this one done, as he is expected to do, as they're looking to build that rematch between him and Devin Haney. So I just really don't know how Rolly gets this one done. He's going to have to make it a brawl, make it a dogfight, but then he's going to have to not get caught by Ryan Garcia's left hook and the speed and the power. I just don't know if Rolly has what it takes to win this. So honestly, I think Ryan Garcia is going to get probably a devastating knockout here. So let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Who are you guys taking between Ryan and Rolly?
So that was it, the video. Let me know what y'all think, what y'all want me to react to. I like reacting about boxing because I really like boxing. I'm trying to get into it, but let me know what y'all think of the video and what you think is who's gonna win. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.